the woman who rewrote her life in her mind. For most of her 20s, Lena believed she was invisible. She thought of herself as average, unlucky, and always one step behind. When she walked into a room, she imagined people overlooking her. When challenges appeared, her first thought was, "Of course this would happen to me." And life, almost obediently, reflected those beliefs back to her. Missed opportunities, quiet disappointments, and dreams that never seemed to start. One evening, after another long day that felt smaller than it should have been, Lena sat alone in her apartment and realized something painful. Her life looked exactly like the way she talked to herself. So she decided to experiment, not with the world, but with her mind. Every morning, even when it felt ridiculous, Lena changed the way she thought. Instead of, "I'm not good enough," she said, "I am learning, and I am capable." Instead of imagining failure, she imagined herself finishing strong. At first, nothing outside changed, but something inside did. As her thoughts shifted, her feelings followed. She felt calmer, more hopeful. She stopped walking into rooms expecting rejection and started carrying quiet confidence instead. That feeling began to attract different responses. People listened longer, smiled more, offered help. Not because the world had changed, but because she had. Then came imagination. Lena began to visualize her future in detail. She imagined herself speaking clearly in meetings, working on projects she cared about, and coming home at night feeling proud instead of drained. She didn't know exactly how it would happen, but she saw it, felt it, and believed it. And slowly, that imagined life started to take shape. She spoke up once in a meeting, just once. That led to a small opportunity. The opportunity grew into trust. The trust became a promotion. Years later, someone asked Lena what the turning point in her life had been. She didn't mention luck, timing, or other people. She said, "I changed the way I talked to myself." Everything else followed. Because she learned a powerful truth. What you think, you become. What you feel, you attract. What you imagine, you create. And the moment you change your inner world, your outer world has no choice but to respond. A story about the power of the mind. Lena was an administrative assistant working at a mid-sized company. She wasn't unhappy in a dramatic way, but she wasn't fulfilled either. Every day felt the same. Quiet mornings, long hours, and a constant sense that life was passing her by. Lena had always believed she was not the confident type. She thought success belonged to louder people, braver people, other people. Those thoughts shaped her behavior. She avoided speaking up, turned down opportunities before they were offered, and accepted being overlooked because, in her mind, that was who she was. One night, after receiving yet another rejection email for a position she barely believed she deserved, Lena wrote in her journal, "My life looks exactly like my thoughts." That sentence changed everything. Instead of waiting for motivation, Lena started changing her inner dialogue. Each morning before work, she wrote 3 simple sentences. "I am capable of learning anything I need. My voice deserves space. I am becoming someone I respect." She didn't fully believe them, but she repeated them anyway. Within weeks, her emotions shifted. She felt less anxious walking into meetings, less afraid of being seen. That emotional shift subtly changed how people responded to her. Colleagues began asking for her input. Her manager noticed her attention to detail. Nothing dramatic happened, but momentum began. Then Lena did something she had never done before. She imagined a different future. Not a fantasy, just a realistic version of herself who was confident, valued, and growing. She visualized herself speaking clearly, handling responsibility, and feeling proud at the end of the day. That imagination guided her actions. She volunteered for one small project. She spoke once in a meeting, her voice steady but nervous. She took an online course after work, even when she was tired. A year later, Lena was promoted to a coordinator role. 2 years later, she was leading a small team. The woman who once felt invisible had become someone others relied on, not because she became someone new, but because she finally believed she could. When asked how she changed her life, Lena didn't credit luck or confidence courses. She said, "I stopped letting my thoughts work against me." Her story is a living reminder. What you think, you become. What you feel, you attract. What you imagine, you create. Because real change doesn't begin with opportunity. It begins with belief and the courage to think differently every day.